getting a lot of questions about the new LSAT-Flex Score Preview. LSAC has announced that for the August LSAT-Flex, as well as all future LSAT administrations, not just the Flex, first-time test takers will get a score preview option, meaning you get to see your score before deciding whether to cancel it. This is for first-time test takers only, whether it's your first time taking the Flex or your first time taking the LSAT in general, meaning that if you've taken a regular LSAT before, either paper and pencil LSAT or a digital LSAT on tablet, this is not available for you. And if you've done the LSAT Flex previously in May or June, or you take it in July, those will also count as takes, meaning you can't then do the score preview option for the August LSAT Flex or any future LSAT administration. What does score preview do? Obviously, it's beneficial. It's nice to be able to see your score before deciding whether to cancel it to avoid having a low LSAT score on record. But it's honestly not a huge deal to have a low score on record because virtually every law school out there will not average multiple LSAT scores. They only take or consider the highest score. Even those that say they look at multiple, they consider multiple, in reality, with very, very few exceptions, the highest score is what counts. But it's nice to have score preview if for nothing more than simply peace of mind. There is a fee for this, though. It is $45 to get score preview if you decide to do so before the first day of a particular LSAT administration. So, for example, if you're taking the August LSAT Flex, that's being administered primarily on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of that week, you've got to decide by Friday if you want to do score preview in order to be able to do it for only, quote unquote, only $45. And if you wait until afterwards, you then pay $75 and you have to buy at a particular point. There's a certain window by which you have to opt for that. And that was basically after the last day of testing for that administration through about a week prior to score release. So in the case of the August LSAT Flex, you've got to choose score preview by September 12th. If you decide on the 13th or the 14th, less than 1 week prior to score release, it's too late. You can't do score preview in that case. Alternatively, you have a couple of weeks to decide. And if you have the money available, I would go for it just to have that peace of mind. Should they be charging these fees for it? I don't think so. I would love to see it free by default for everybody, whether it's your first time taking it or not. Whether you do score preview or not, you get your score at the same time as everybody else, and you have 6 days to decide whether to keep that score on record or to go for a cancellation. Canceling your scores, not a big deal. Having a lower score on record followed by a higher score is also not a big deal. Higher followed by lower obviously isn't as nice to have. It doesn't look as great, but the highest score is still what counts. Now, if you have an approved LSAT fee waiver, score preview is free for you. LSAC will not charge you that fee. As for why score preview is only for first-time test takers and not for everybody, I'm going to quote from LSAC here. They say, one goal of score preview is to reduce test anxiety for first-time test takers. We want to avoid score shopping, where candidates use score preview to test repeatedly in an effort to hit a higher score. So they want to reduce test anxiety, and that's nice to do for first-time test takers. I would say, why not do it for everybody? As for score shopping, where people would test repeatedly to get a higher score, why not? People retake all the time, and they want to get higher scores. That's the name of the game. And if you're letting them do it 3 times in a year, 5 times in 5 years, 7 times for life, as are the LSAT retake limits, you understand that retaking the LSAT is beneficial. People do it to get a higher score. So why not use score preview and add that into the mix? It's not a huge deal to me, at least in my view. And these retake limits in general, the score preview limit to discourage retaking, that doesn't serve candidates, that serves LSAC. Part of the reason they have these new retake limits is because they keep reusing the same old test forms and they want to minimize the chances of somebody encountering the same test form twice. And obviously with the LSAT being offered more frequently than ever before, back in the day it was only 4 times a year, now it's nearly every month. Of course, more retakes means more digging into the past to get those old test forms out, but that's not the candidate's problem. That's not the applicant's fault. If you're reusing test forms, of course, people might run into the same questions again. You've got to use some creative manipulation to minimize the odds of that happening. But in my view, let people retake. Let them get those higher scores, especially since a lot of the people who took it cold without any prep were doing so simply on bad advice from a pre-law advisor or somebody with outdated information. So I would say don't penalize test takers for not knowing everything going in. Some people take the LSAT without prepping properly or without prepping at all due to improper notions about what's involved in this. So I wouldn't penalize them. Let them retake it. Let them use Score Preview as much as they need. If it helps reduce anxiety, why not? Make it better for everybody. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.